Hello everybody, thank you for joining me. If you're buying onions in Waitrose these days, you have a choice. You can either buy the traditional onion or you can buy what they're calling a sunion. This is an onion that is guaranteed not to make you cry when you cut it. And it's something which many of us who find the kind of stinging sensation you get when you get tears from cutting onions unpleasant, it might find appealing. But not perhaps when you realise the price, which is sort of apparently 3 times the ordinary onion. These are not genetically modified. They've been created over 30 years of experimentation by crossbreeding different types of onion that produce less tears than others, so that eventually get one called this sunion, which doesn't produce any tears. And the news item made me think about tears because they are a really important and valuable part of the human psyche. There can be all sorts of reasons for crying. There's frustration, there's anger, there's sadness, there's grief, there's joy, and there's all sorts of reasons why tears come to our eyes. We can be moved to tears, and they are so helpful in enabling us to express these deep emotions. Sometimes we bottle up our tears. We feel perhaps we shouldn't be seen to cry, but I don't think that's very often valuable. Most of us respond very warmly to someone who's shedding tears, whatever the reason. And I think also they're not just good for expressing the emotion, they're good for clearing our minds. I'm often curious as to why, that shortest verse in the Bible, Jesus wept. Why did Jesus weep when he knew he was about to raise Lazarus from the dead? There was nothing to weep about. Well, maybe he didn't know he was going to raise Lazarus from the dead. Maybe he wept, and it was in the crying with the grief of seeing Lazarus there in the grave that enabled him to know what he could do. It cleared his mind, maybe, just hypothesis, but it certainly is something that we do find when we cry, that it makes us feel better generally very often afterwards, but sometimes it helps us to see things more clearly, helps us to know what we should be doing, or we should understand more clearly how to respond to a situation. And so tears have that valuable function. So today I'm going to just celebrate tears and not to hold them back if they come for any reason. I don't, as I say, like the tears that come from cutting onions, but I think the other kinds of tears that we sometimes experience can be really valuable.